Welcome everyone to today's Learning Tube. This is Ava, and I want to talk to you about embracing change and being open to new ideas. I know some of you are already embracing the change that has occurred from the end of last year to now. All of this talk about AI and emerging new technology that can make things so much more efficient for us, make us so more productive in all aspects of our lives. But sometimes some people are resistant to change for whatever reason. And we want to explore that and how we can see how you can start to feel comfortable with embracing change. So that's what I want to go through with you today. And I want some feedback just to get an idea of where you're at. Are you embracing it? Are you open to new ideas? Or are you still on the fence? So we're going to look at embracing change and being open to new ideas. So being open to change and embracing ideas is so crucial for freelancers and business owners. It not only leads to growth and innovation, but it keeps you ahead of the competition. We can't let our competition be the ones embracing all this change and we're stuck. We don't know where to go. We don't like we don't have our heads on our shoulders. But embracing change can fix that. So I'm going to be looking on how we can embrace the change, the importance, and provide actionable tips on how you are to do so. One of the things about change is that it allows you to be have increased flexibility. So are you of a flexibility mindset? Are you open to different solutions, approaches, allowing you to adapt changes with greater ease? Give me an F. Are you flexible? Are you one that can adapt to different things that happen in whether it's your business life or your personal life? Sometimes it takes us time to adapt, but at least we know that we're capable of it. The capability is what we're looking on. We're not saying it's easy to be flexible, but we want to know that we're capable of being flexible. So I get a lot of F's. You're very capable of being so. You're flexible. And in life, we have to be flexible. If we're not flexible, we have a lot of problems, especially when it comes to change. Better decision making. Being open to new ideas widens your perspective and helps you make well informed decisions, leading to positive outcomes. All right. That's something that we need to pay attention. Better decision making and personal growth. Embracing change can be uncomfortable. Do you agree? I hate change. I'm gonna admit it. I hate change. Who loves change? Is there anyone here that loves change and say, "Oh, change, change is good"? I mean, some change is good, yes, but some change we tend to be resistant because we're saying we have to do something different and all these things, and we don't know where to go and all those things. And some people are like that. But change can be good. Change is not always bad. So when I ask several people's opinions, I hear the story repeating. Then I believe the facts to decide. All right. So we love change. Okay, Rick. And Bianca, you said not all the time. Yes, it's hard. Yes, change is hard. But when it comes to changing for your growth, for your better well-being, it's good to explore this particular change. And that's what we want to look about today. Advantages of being open to change. So adapting to new technologies. You want to make sure that you're staying up to date. No, technology is changing so fast. It's like, oh my gosh, this is new. That was that. It was then. That was how it was then. No, it's that. Oh my God, I can't keep track. I do agree. Things are changing so fast. But guess what? We just have to keep up as best as we can. It's not a race to keep up with every new thing that's coming out because that's practically impossible. But not to be stuck in the very old things that used to be, because I remember seeing an image. I should have added this image where you remember where storage is concerned. Most of you, what do you remember to be the earliest way to store files? And I'm talking about with technology. I'm not talking about a filing cabinet. What do you remember you stored your digital files on? Who remembers what they stored in the beginning? Yes, floppy disks. You remember floppy disks? And then when I say floppy disk, I mean the one that was actually floppy, that big floppy one that when you moved it in your hand, you could flop it like a fan. That's what I'm talking about. And then we went to the the smaller floppy disk in quotation marks. It wasn't as floppy. What did they call it again? 3.5. The 3.5 floppy disk. That one was more firm. What did we move on to after that? And we're talking for regular people. We're not talking for like data collectors who are using some tapes and things like that. We went to the CD. Megan, you're skipping the CD. We went to CD. And what did we go to after CD? I'm just showing you how we're progressing with even storage, the way we store things. What came after CD? What came after CD? No, flash drive didn't come yet. What came after CD? It starts with D. What came after the CD? Yes, we had the DVD. And then after DVD, what did we have? So you see the progression, all right? So we had hard drives. We always had hard drives, but I should have been more specific about that. Yes, we always had the hard drives. But then we had our floppy disks. Remember, MP3 and MP4 are the files themselves. They don't do the storage. They are the files. So MP3 is an audio file and MP4 is a video file. We're talking about storage. So, and then we had external storage and the flash drive. Where are we saving everything now, or most things? Yes, Brooks, the cloud. We are here up in the sky. I remember seeing a TikTok video recently where someone was saying, go to my office. So they showed the gentleman going into the boss's office. He says, open the folder. He opened an actual folder that was on the desk. Then he said, open the window. So the guy took the folder and went to an actual window and opened it. And he said, put it to the cloud. And he put the file folder to the sky. I mean, he's doing what the guy told him, but I'm just saying, these things, it's amazing how technology has progressed. So that was just taking you down memory lane of storage. But there are so many different changes in technology, not just AI. AI is the craze right now. But remember, we have always had change in technology. So AI is just another form right now. So don't think that, oh my gosh, what's happening now? We have always had changes and progression in technology. So you want to stay up to date. Keeping up with the latest technological trends and tools is crucial for today's fast-paced world. You don't want to feel like you're overwhelmed. Find new opportunities. New technologies bring new opportunities for freelancers and business owners to reach a wider audience and offer new products or services. So we realize that one of these AI technology, it makes things so fast. You're able to do things so fast, prepare things efficiently, that you're able to do things you weren't able to do before. AI technology has made us copywriters. We're doing so many things that we never thought possible. All right, so that's where technology comes in. And of course, you are going to have an efficiency boost. There's no way you are using more technology and not being efficient. Of course, you have to know how to use the technology properly to be efficient. So implementing new technologies can streamline and optimize your workflow, saving you time, money, and energy. So for those who told me earlier that they were embracing change by giving me a 1, do you find that you are more efficient, more productive, feel encouraged that you're more capable? Give me a 3. Since embracing this change, do you feel empowered that you are now equipped to take on all that is thrown at you? Maybe not all, but most that is thrown at you. So I love what Megan says. Depends on the day. And I love that because it really depends on the day and the task that you're given, because we have to be creative sometimes to see how we can use this existing technology to do what we need it to do. So you have to think about that as well, because a lot of us are not using technology as we should, or in the way we should. And then what do we do if we're not using it as we should and the way we should? What do we tend to do? If we're not using the technology as we should and the way we should, what do we do as humans? What do we do about, what do we say about technology? What do we say? It doesn't work. Oh my gosh, that's so foolish. It doesn't make any sense. What's the point, right? Yes. So you have to know how to use it as well to get all these benefits. All right. So procrastinate, yes, and you avoid doing things that you need to. I try to be larger than my problems. This makes them smaller and not as scary. I love that, Mark. I like that. We need that as a quote. Be larger than your problems. This makes them smaller and not as scary. Come, we need you to write that as a quote. Mark Cantor. All right, so you definitely have to make sure that you are adapting to the new technologies that come about. Now, what are you going to do when you have the challenges? What challenges are you facing when it comes to change? The challenges of change. We all go through this. You're going to have the fear of the unknown. This is not only with technology. In life, the fear of the unknown. There's some things that we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. But we can't live life in fear. We have to take it one step at a time. So change can be scary and the unknown can be overwhelming. But it's important to remember that uncertainty is often where growth happens. Embrace the discomfort and focus on the potential benefits. So anytime you feel scared, remember this change will benefit you and your family. It will make things better. That's what you have to remember. I have to remember this daily. I'm no different from you. I am afraid of change, but I know that change is necessary for growth. Lack of resources. Adopting new technologies can come with costs, both financial and time related, but consider it an investment in your future success. Plan ahead and make use of the resources available to you, such as online tutorials or mentorship programs. Luckily for you guys, you have the learning tube that you can come to and get this knowledge. But sometimes you have to make investments when certain things arise. Resistance from others. It's not uncommon for others to resist change, whether it's co-workers, employees, or clients. Be patient, communicate clearly, and if possible, involve them in the process. You're going to have people around you not willing to change with you or trying to discourage you from change. Who has anybody around them trying to discourage them, telling you this doesn't make any sense? You need to try something different. What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Why are you always on the computer wasting time? People feel that when you're on the computer, you're wasting time. They don't know how efficient this small device, if you're using a laptop or you're using a desktop, how powerful it is. A lot of people see me on my phone and think I'm playing games. I'm doing so much work on my phone, it's not even funny. My phone is where I do a lot of my work. People think I'm there texting and, instant messaging. Of course, that's part of work too. I may be talking to a client that is using that form of communication. But try not to pay the naysayers any mind. You know your goal, you know what you're working for. And if you're trying to encourage them and they're not coming along or want to follow your path, unfortunately, you may have to leave others behind because you can't let anybody hold you back. Not to say that you're just dropping people like flies, but there comes a time when you have to move on for your benefit. All right? Megan, you're playing games? Are you playing games on your computer? And do you know that you can get paid to play games? So that's not bad either. So Mark, you were on the computer late into the evening last night. My wife asked me what the heck I was doing. I simply said, working. Were you working, Mark? Just make sure you were working. So failure. This is the biggest one. Other than fear, failure. We are afraid to fail. Embracing change involves the possibility of failure. Some of us are perfectionists like myself, and we don't want to fail. We don't want to fail at anything ever in our lives. But is life like that? Is there anyone here that has never failed at something? I want to meet you because you are an anomaly. Has there anyone that has never failed? Never failed. I hear the crickets in the chat. Have you never failed? Who has failed? Give me a 4. Have you ever failed at something? Anything? Have you ever failed? Have you ever failed? My lips are sealed. Have you ever failed? We've all failed at something. And it makes us feel bad, but I love that, Rick. You didn't fail. You just learned a new way to do it. I love that. Yeah, let's say that. We're not failing, we're just learning another way to do something. I love that. Thank you. If you aren't failing, you're probably not trying or growing. True? Of course, yes, Erica said that. All right, so don't be discouraged when you have setbacks, but use them as an opportunity to learn and iterate. I know some people say iterate. Potato, potato. Remember that failure is often a crucial step towards success. Claudia just said it, failure is a part of success. Mark is saying seek failure so that you know you're growing. You guys are dropping all these gems right now. We need you to be putting these quotes on social media to be encouraging persons in varying cases. Overcoming resistance to change. So we talked about the challenges. Now, how can you overcome it? What can you do to get on board? So here it says, get everyone on board, involve others in the process, make sure everyone feels heard and valued, encourage questions and feedback. So that's if you're like, you're running your company, even in your family, if you want to change something, make everybody be a part of the change, make it seem exciting that you're doing something different. Communicate effectively, explain why change is necessary and how it will benefit the team. Address concerns and be empathetic towards those who may be resistant. And I really want to stress this. Be empathetic if anyone is resistant in the beginning, because we know that change is not easy. So you don't want to belittle anyone that doesn't want to change right away because they're not ready. Encourage them, and you may find that they may in time change. But as I said before, there comes a point when you have to move on. Lead by example. So, as a freelancer or a business owner, you set the tone for your team, the way they perceive and embrace change. Be proactive, flexible, and be willing to adapt. We have to always be willing to. These are some businesses that have successfully embraced change. These are some businesses that you know these logos for. You know all of these logos. We're gonna look and see how they changed. So Mark is saying, it's so funny. Every day during my intense workout, my number one goal is to achieve failure. Wow. I know that growth comes from failing. All right, I've never heard anybody say they're trying to achieve failure, but I get where you're coming from. I get it. I get it. That's an interesting way of looking on things, but it works. So Nike, this digital transformation, they launched an ambitious plan to digitally transform their business by investing in tech infrastructure and partnerships, streamlining its supply chain and enhancing its retail experience for customers. And they're basically saying it paid off. Apple, we all know Apple. Apple's constant pursuit of innovation and pushing the boundaries of what's possible has made them a leader in the tech industry. We know some may differ. From the introduction to the iPod to the development of the iPhone, Apple has continually embraced change to stay ahead of the curve. And Netflix, disruptive business model, they disrupted the entertainment industry by transitioning from DVD rental service to a streaming platform, which allowed them to offer customized content to their users and compete with traditional cable providers. So these are just some examples of some companies who were not resistant to change. Who remembers Blockbuster? For those who had Blockbuster, where you were, Blockbuster like disappeared because of change. There was no need for that anymore. So you have to change. Maybe they could have developed or started something different. Did they do anything different? You still have your Blockbuster card. Put it up, it's an antique. So Edison failed a lot before being able to develop the light bulb. Of course. And some of these failures, in quotation marks, became the actual invention. Do some research on that. How many failures became an actual invention? They tried to do something else and ended up stumbling on another thing. So that too is something. We want to now look at tips for embracing change and staying open to new ideas. We know this. As I said, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but sometimes just to talk about it just brings it to the forefront, and we are reminded of what we need to do or be doing. So stay curious. Curiosity drives creativity and innovation. Continuously learn and stay informed about trends and developments in your field. So whatever field you're in, tell me some of the fields some of you are in that are on. What fields are you in? What's your niche, your area of expertise? Look and see what's new in that area. How can you add technology to what you're doing existingly or what you're doing right now? So I see design field, we have video editing. Give me some of the fields that you're in. How can you include technology in that particular field? We had a person that was an accountant and was asking, how can I include AI in my accounting business? You can think about how you can include this new technology within your business. It just takes some brainstorming. And guess what? You can ask the AI, how can I incorporate AI in my so and so business? Ask it. All right. So you can ask that question as well. How can I incorporate AI in my business or whatever new technology? So take calculated risks. Risk is a part of growth. Risk taking involves stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing change. But make sure to weigh the risks against the benefits and be prepared for potential setbacks. We may have setbacks, but guess what? You can't allow these setbacks to discourage you. Unfortunately, we have persons that once one stumbling block, once one hurdle appears, once the wind blows too hard, they give up. I hope we don't have anyone here like that. And if we do, today is the day you need to know that this is a part of change and better must come. Do you agree? Give me a high five. Five. Better must come. Yes? Better must come. It won't always be bad. You will always be able to rise again from the ashes like the, finish it for me. Rise again from the ashes like the what? Better must come. What rises from the ashes? Let's see who is on the ball. Yes, the phoenix. Rise from the ashes like the phoenix. So be aware that nothing is set in stone. And lastly, you have to enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, embrace it. Change can be challenging, but it is important to appreciate the growth that comes from the journey. Stay positive, celebrate your successes, and as we had, who was it? Rick said, learn from our failures. Learn from your failures because you don't want to make that mistake again. So you need to learn from it. As I say, if you do the same thing twice and get the same end result, as in it's not a good result, it's a form of you know what. So make sure that you are learning from any failing. Fail forward. I like that. Failing forward. Yes, Megan, you know it. You know it. It's a form of insanity. Doing the same thing twice, getting the same end result, which is not a good one. All right. So you have to learn from all of this. So, as I said, sometimes we just like to have these kinds of sessions to remind you of things that you may have been thinking about. It's on the top of your mind, but you say, okay, it's back of your mind, I should say. But we like to bring this forward so you remember that change is necessary and you have to embrace it, especially with all that's going on now. You want to make sure that you're not left behind and you're moving at a good pace to be as productive as possible. As I said, you may be resistant, tread the waters lightly. We don't want you to be doing anything that you're uncomfortable with, but make an informed decision. Don't just decide, oh, I'm not interested in that. This is that, that is that. Make an informed decision before you dismiss something. Now, as I was talking about change, you notice my slide presentation that I had going on here. Now, usually when I do my slide presentations, I use Google Slides or I may use Microsoft PowerPoint. But this is a tool that Alicia has mentioned in different sessions. And at the blink of an eye, so unless you are resistant to having something done at the blink of an eye, at the blink of an eye, this slide presentation was presented for me, or I should say created for me with a tool called what? Let me see who is really observing the screen. What's the name of this tool that created this presentation for me? Gamma! Gamma! Opa Gamma style. Well, that's Gangnam, but yeah, you get it. So Gamma was the tool. This tool right here, Gamma. All I did, I just entered my idea, and my idea was from a post that was made in the Learning Tube. Who are looking on the different posts that we're giving to you? We're giving you tips for your business. This is the Learning Tube Facebook page. And the post that was made was telling us that we need to, the Learning Tube tip. Who are watching the tube tips? Who's watching the tube tips? If only my Facebook group would refresh, would reload. Are you watching the tube tips? Here it is. Here's technology. I have to open it again. There's technology beating me bad. But the tube tip of today, who was observant of the tube tip of today? Let me go back to the Learning Tube. All right. Let's see. All right, so it doesn't want to open, but if you go back to the Learning Tube, you would see the tube tip of today was talking about just making sure that you're embracing change and new ideas. All right, so I was trying to show you, but technology doesn't want me to be great. You see what I'm saying? I was going on so well, and the internet said, "Hey, Ava, we are gonna make you fail." So it's not loading. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. We're teaching you any new tool, but we're teaching you life skills that you can use to progress and embrace change so that you can be more productive and efficient. And that's all we want for everyone that's a part of our community. So remember, the replay will be posted in the Facebook group, and it will be sent out via email so that you can check it out again. I will include the link to this slide presentation that was created for me in the blink of an eye. Seriously, guys, all I did was type in the topic, press the button, and I blinked, and everything was done for me. The slides, the images, the content, I just gave it the idea. So embrace change. AI is here, and ride the wave to success. All right, guys. Bye.